And we're joined now by Independent Women's Voice senior fellow Lisa Booth, who's been covering the scramble for the Democratic nomination for months for us now. Hey, Lisa.
Hey, Tucker.
Good to see you.
Oh, sorry.
So, how was it, Pete Buttigieg? We're very far away, but we're getting reports back from the United States that Buttigieg had one of the worst weekends I've seen any Democratic candidate have in a long time.
It was a really tough weekend for him. But real quick on Joe Biden, what's interesting about that, so Joe Biden's been ahead because of name ID and perceived electability. But I think these comments that he's making, also the flip on the Hyde Amendment, are going to undercut the narrative that he is the most electable candidate. So I think Biden's going to sort of be his own undoing on that. But to Pete Buttigieg, you're right. He had a really tough weekend. He had to go home to South Bend to address a crisis that he's facing back home. There was a police shooting of a black man. So he went home, and this is what he faced. Watch this, Tucker.
Sure. So
if everyone can just, we're going to allow him to speak if everyone can just calm down.
I would love to be able to finish my reply if that's okay.
So Eric Logan is the man's name. So obviously Pete Buttigieg facing a lot of criticism there. And the challenge for this, Tucker, is if you're launching your presidential bid on your mayoral record, and, you know, that is what you're running off of, and then you face this kind of scrutiny back home, obviously that makes it really difficult to try to run on that record. He's talked about things like the revitalization back home in South Bend, but when you're facing this kind of challenge back home, it's going to make that really difficult. And he's also faced criticism of lack of diversity with the South Bend Police Department as well. Logan's mother also was, not very happy with him and expressing that publicly. So not a good look for the mayor, and he's facing a lot of scrutiny, which I suspect might show up.
Lisa?
Yeah, sure.
Wait. So Buttigieg, among other things, is running as a kind of military tough guy and everything. From the clip you just saw, he sat there as people screamed at him, looking like a weakling. Did he ever, during the evening, say, why don't you stop yelling at me for a minute? And let's have a rational conversation. Did he ever say that?
He didn't. I think the challenge of that, too, Tucker, I mean, if you're facing an unruly mob, if you're facing an angry audience, it's really tough to have a reasonable conversation. And that's what he tried to do, but to no avail. And the optics just don't look good. But I'll tell you, another Democrat who's having challenging optics as well is Mayor Bill de Blasio, someone who's just really struggled to find his footing. He was in South Carolina over the weekend. Only 15 people showed up to one of his events. He's just not finding any traction at all, as you can see there. He did get the endorsement of the mayor of Orangeburg, South Carolina, who is one of the 15 people there, but not drawing a strong attendance. There's just really not that excitement for him. So he is really struggling. We'll see if he can make anything of being on the stage this week in the Democrat debates, but he's really just struggled to get any traction at all so far.
Oh, that is so heartening. Reality still matters, at least a little bit in the United States.
A little bit, yeah.
Good to see you.
Thanks, Tucker.